Good evening, guys, and welcome. My name is Brianna Garcia, for those of you who aren't aware. This video is for all of my fans and supporters and anyone else who wants to know a little bit about what I do. Now, for those of you who aren't aware, I do hand-painted, customized letter art. And I've been trying to kind of create this business and start really getting more into my art. And the reason I'm introducing you and letting you know what's going on is because this will not only be on Facebook, but YouTube and other sites as well, so you'll be able to share it and check it out with others there. So today, what I'm going to do is my very first tutorial, and I am actually a little nervous, so please be kind. But before we get into the actual tutorial itself, what I want to do is kind of show you what I've done so far. Again, you guys can check out my page, Breeze Arts and Crafts. It's easy to find, and I've done different themes for people, I should say. I've done Disney princesses, done Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Doctor Who, all kinds of different stuff. So what I want to show you before I get started on the tutorial is just my most recent piece that I've done. There we go. So my last client wanted a Disney princess theme for her daughter, and as you can see, we've got Ariel, Jasmine, Elsa, Belle, and Cinderella. So that's just a little bit of an insight into what it is that I do. And I'm also currently working on doing my own Breeze Arts and Crafts name, if that will focus. There we go. And as you can see, that's one of my most favorite and oldest arcade games, Pac-Man. I'm actually quite good at it. So that's a little bit of what I do. And the reason I'm trying to get my name out there for these is because they are great on many different levels. I've had so many of my customers, no, let's stop. Sorry, cats. I've had so many of my customers ask for their children. A lot of customers have their kids' names in certain themes and things like that. And the reason I've been doing this is because, of course, everyone loves to see their name in their own special theme, things that they like, things that they enjoy. And also, a lot of these people have very unique names, so, I mean, how often do we really get to see our names on keychains and things like that when we go into stores when we have unique names? I know when I was younger growing up, it was really hard to find my name on things. Less hard now, but I know the struggle, it's real. And these things make great gifts. They're great for birthdays, they're great for graduations. A lot of my more recent clients have done, have placed orders for teenagers. They're great for dorm rooms. And not only that, I've had several people ask for my bigger letters, and I actually have those as well. Just a second. This is an order that I did a while back, and it's a pretty decent size, but a lot of people ask for these for their front porches or living rooms, just to have the first letter of their last name. So it's great for decorating, especially during Christmas and Thanksgiving, New Year's, Halloween, especially for those people who love to decorate but just don't have the time. So, once again, go head up my page, look at my page, Breeze Arts and Crafts. Starting out small, but, you know, I'm building business, so it's really, really exciting. So now what I'm going to do is show you a little bit of my process and kind of let you see into my world, if you will. Now, one of my recent clients asked me to do a piece for her son, there we go, we're focusing now, asked me to do a piece for her son, and her son's name is Aries, which I think is really, really cool. And she wanted to do a fox theme. Now, I'm going to be mixing paint while I talk to you guys. She wanted to do a fox theme, the animal, not the logo. Had to make sure of that. And so I figured since Aries is a 5-letter word, I could do the 4 seasons and a fox in the middle. So what I'm going to be sharing with you guys today is the winter theme that I am doing. Now, as you can see, I've already started on the letter, just to kind of give you guys an idea of what I'm going for. And we're going to have a few little woodland creatures and things like that. The reason I wanted to show you guys this particular order is because I kind of get to take the reins on this one and do just a little bit of whatever it is that I want. And what, baby? What, Nala? And the reason I love doing that is because most of my orders, obviously, are things that are iconic, so things that I have to get just right. You know, a lot of your Disney princesses, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, a lot of kids' TV shows. You have to get that just right. So I don't use templates or anything. This is all hand painted. And yeah, that's the color that I want. These are all hand painted. I don't use any stencils or anything like that. However, more often than not, I do look off of some sort of picture. But today, I get to do a little bit of whatever it is that I want, and that's a lot of fun for me. So, as you can see by the picture while I'm making this paint, of course I did the snow and the trees and everything. For the background here, I did a gray, and I'm going to show you to all my paints. I don't have a whole selection of paints, so a lot of the painting that I do is going to be mixing a lot of colors. So for those of you out there that have difficulty mixing colors, I do too, so it's okay. And a lot of art means you just have to play around with it. That's the beauty of art. You just play around with colors, and yeah, you end up sometimes wasting some paint, but it's kind of the fun in it. I know for that Aries, for the Jasmine letter, I had a lot of difficulty finding the exact color I wanted for her outfit, and I still don't think I got it just right, but I got it as close as I was going to be able to get it. And that's the thing that a lot of people don't understand, is art is so subjective. It really is. You know, you're not going to please everybody with your art, but you will find someone out there who will like it. And I'm just going to go ahead and move this over and like let you guys see what I'm doing as far as I'm just mixing the gray that I'm going to be making. Just a simple black and white is all I'm doing. And I really want that dark gray, because what I'm going to do is go over that gray in the background. Now what I did before, as you can tell from the letter, is I didn't do just a gray. It's kind of like a bluish gray. Now how I achieved this for my artists out there, if you're wondering, is I just did a simple gray, like I said, with the black and white. And then I did this ultramarine blue. And what I did is I put the gray down, and then I put the ultramarine down. And you really have to be quick about it, because I use all acrylic paints, excuse me. And the acrylic paint dries fairly quickly. So I will put the gray down, and then I will put the blue down right after and kind of mix it together to give it that dark bluish gray. Because what I'm going for here is kind of a clear Blue Midnight. Now for the moon, I am doing kind of like a cream white, not an exact white, because I want the moon to stand out. There we go. I want the moon here to stand out differently from the snow. I want them to be two different colors, and I need to go over that. So what I did here with this is I just had white, just a simple white, and then I added a little bit of bright yellow here. And I have all kinds of different paints. So I added just a dab of bright yellow to give it kind of that whitish yellowish cream look. So we're gonna go ahead and get started here. And I don't really go in any particular order with how I paint. There we go, it's trying to focus. I don't go in really in any particular order. I just kind of go where I want to next. So my painting can be very erratic sometimes. Sometimes I get frustrated with a certain piece of my artwork because I keep messing up on it. So then I think, oh, I'll just go back later and work on it, and then I'll fix it. I get kind of what gamers call tilted. I get tilted on my artwork because it looks a certain way in my mind, and then I can't get my hands to do what I want in my mind. So I get fairly tilted and I have to come back later and work on it. So we're just going to fill in this moon here, give it a little bit of a more yellow texture. I know it's hard to see with the light, and I'm moving quite a bit, so it's hard for the camera to focus. I do apologize for that. I am just using my phone after all. Not gonna lie, I was super nervous. I'm still kind of nervous and a little shaky in my hand, so apologies for that as well. And as you can tell, I don't have great tools. I just have standard brushes that people have given me over time because they know how much I enjoy art. And I use a simple coffee mug, if you will. While I'm talking to you about that, I'm just going to go ahead and paint this side right here. Now, as you can see, maybe, if it'll focus. Come on, focus. There we go. That's a little bit better. You can see here that it's bluish gray, and you can see here that it's gray. I just put down this gray. So what I'm going to do... I was having trouble focusing. Maybe it's because it's too close. Wish I could zoom out. As you can see, those are two vastly different colors. So what I'm going to have to do is go back in with the ultramarine blue and kind of just mix it in to give it that bluish gray. Hopefully it'll blend in with the rest of it, and it's blending in pretty well. Oh, I gotta get a better camera. I'm really sorry, guys. This is my phone, and this is my first video. So, like I said, you want to go in with the gray, and then immediately after you want to get your blue and kind of make it like a midnight bluish gray. You want to have that hint of gray, but you mainly want it to be almost like a navy blue. And people are like, oh, why didn't you just go in with a navy blue? Well, number one, I don't have navy blue. Number two, I like to mix colors. It's a lot of fun. You get to experiment, and I think it makes you a better artist when you mix colors and try to find that perfect color that you're looking for. And it's an amazing feeling when you get that perfect color. I'm trying to make this a little more blue over here. You can see there's different shades right there. Now I will be using a lot of, maybe not a lot, but some technical terms. And this video isn't just for artists out there. You know, if you are thinking about doing art and You know, art classes can be expensive, or you're just a little nervous. It's intimidating. I understand. You know, this hopefully will be a great outlet for my viewers who want to learn art, or who just want to see how I do what it is that I do. So it's perfect for both of those things. Now, as you can see, I've got a tree trunk up here and then a few trees in the background. We've got this big tree in the foreground and then 2 trees in the background. If you want to create depth in your artwork and show a sense of depth, what you want to do is when you put things in the foreground, you want them to appear bigger and closer. And when you put things in the background, obviously you want them smaller. And then I just added a little bit of white along the trunk and along some of the branches. That is actually a tip that, or a trick if you will, that I picked up from one of my favorite artists, who's unfortunately no longer alive, Mr. Bob Ross. Any of you have heard of Bob Ross, you've probably seen his landscapes, and he's an incredible artist. He was such an amazing talent. And I'm just going to go over this white over here while I'm talking to you guys. But he was such an amazing talent, and he did nothing but landscapes from what I saw. But he did an extraordinary job, and he had just this way of blending colors so beautifully that it was incredible. But that is a tip that I picked up from him. Whenever I'm doing snow landscapes and you want to make it look realistic and authentic, you just want to put just a little white line, and that's all I do. Is you want to take a wide brush here with a thin, it's wide but it's also thin, if you know what I mean. And all you would do is just dab, just take some pure white and dab across the tree trunk. Now unfortunately with this particular landscape I had to use a smaller brush because it's detail work. But that is a trick that I picked up from him, and I absolutely love it. I think it gives it so much depth, and I think it just makes the piece look very, very authentic. And I'm just going over this white. Now the thing to remember is, guys, I'm going to make mistakes. I guarantee it. I can almost bet my next paycheck that I will make mistakes in these videos. And the important thing to remember is you can always fix it. So for those of you who are thinking about maybe creating your own art and want to take some tips from me, I absolutely welcome it. But just remember, everyone makes mistakes, and honestly, some of the best pieces of artwork have come from making mistakes, and that's the key to remember. And I do apologize if you guys hear my cats in the background. I have 3 of them. Little devil angel things. Furry little creatures. Okay. Oh shit, see? Oh, sorry. I cuss a lot. See, I just messed up on that. I just hit that little tree trunk. But it's okay. We can just go back in there and fix the happy little tree, as Bob Ross would say. That's how you know if you've seen Bob Ross, if someone comes up to you and says happy little trees and happy little bushes. That's why I loved that man. You know, he's just happy little everything. And it just makes, that man made the world a better place. He truly, truly did. And honestly, I'm kind of glad that nobody's watching right now. It makes me kind of nervous. I don't want to mess up, even though I know I'm going to. So once again, I had to let the moon dry. So I'm going over that again with that yellowish white. And you can, if it'll focus, gosh darn it, maybe. Oh, it's kind of hard to tell, but you can start to see the difference, well at least I can see the difference between the snow and the moon, and that's really the look that I'm going for. I decided to make it kind of a magical. Now, if I really wanted to make this like an eerie kind of thing, I could easily go in and just put some fog, but we're not going to do that today. Only because, number one, this is for a child, and number two, I like to think of wintertime as just this beautiful magic time. And we're going to go in on the side here, and we're just going to paint that over. We're going to paint the mood on this side. I use flat brushes a lot. Flat brushes are probably some of my favorite brushes to use. I don't know why. I just think it's because of the edge. They're really easy to control. When you get into really small detail work, that's when you want to use a pointed brush with a much smaller width, obviously. Sorry guys. I'm trying to paint and also watch the video, so this is a little difficult, but that's okay. Alright, and we're probably going to go in that with the second coat, because you can definitely see a little bit of gray there still. But I wanted to make this kind of magical. Thanks, Isaac. I am definitely not Bob Ross. Not even close. But I do enjoy him. He's an amazing person. Yeah, if anyone wants to comment while they look at this video, go for it. I'll do little shout outs. I don't mind. And let's see, we're gonna get some black here. I'm running low on my black, and all three of my cats are in here. We're gonna go in and fix this tree right here. You can tell that there's some white over it. Thanks for the likes, guys. I do appreciate it. You guys are amazing. I really couldn't do this without you guys. All of you who have went and liked my page and shared my page, you guys have no idea how much it means to me. You guys are truly a blessing. I'm truly blessed to know all of my friends and all of my clients. You guys are helping me expand. And ever since people started sharing and liking and talking about my page, it's exploded. It really has. Much more than I ever thought was possible. And I'm just filling in this tree over here on the side. I like to paint the sides of my letters too. I think that gives the artwork a little more depth as well. So we're just going to paint that. And I'm really sorry it's out of focus, guys. I promise next time I'll have a better setup. I do apologize. Thank you guys for being so patient, for those of you who are trying to learn a little bit maybe. Let that dry a little bit. And if you guys are wanting more tutorial videos, please let me know. I will start to do more tutorials. I'll let you know how I do some of my pieces. What else have I done? I've done Doc McStuffins. That was a great one to do. That one was challenging. There was a lot of detail work, but it was a lot of fun. Got that one done for Miss Carlacia. That's one of those names I'm talking about. I mean, you know you're never going to see it, and it sucks because it's like all you want to do is see your name in something cool. So, she was, from what I understand, she was super excited. And see, just adding that little line gives that tree just a little more depth. That's all it is, guys. People think art is hard, but it's really not. It's really not. Sometimes you just have to go with what you feel. You know, it's funny. My boyfriend, Hal, asks me all the time, how do you do this? I'm like, I don't know, I just do. Struggles of being an artist, right? People always get mad at you because you can do what they can't. But everyone wants to do what they can't do. I want to sing and I can't sing. And that's fine. I have other talents. But he always gets so mad at me, and I feel so bad because I'm like, I'm sorry that God gave me this talent. I apologize. But I don't think anyone should ever apologize for And he doesn't mean it. I don't think anyone should ever apologize for their talents. I mean, that's what makes you unique. That's what makes you you. And I think it's just incredible. Okay, so I'm just, like I said, I'm just filling this in. And what we'll probably do later, if it looks good, is be nice to your sister. What we'll probably do is go in with some white and just kind of add like a snow. And basically all I'm doing is second coats here. I'll do a couple more little trees out there. But as I was saying earlier, I get myself sidetracked so much. I wanted to do kind of a magical theme because for me, Christmas is a magical, magical time of year. I absolutely love Christmas. For any of you who know me well, know that I am a little obsessed with Christmas. Come on, focus. Focus. This dang thing is driving me nuts. I just really need it to focus. There. Oh. Now if I slowly put it back down. Oh, I fixed it, guys. Maybe. But for those of you who know, or do know, I'm sorry, don't know. I can't talk. I am a huge, huge Christmas person. I am a little obsessed with Christmas. I once told several people that my goal is to be one of those people that has like one of those houses so decorated that people come for miles just to see it. That's one of my goals in life. Bucket list. And I'm just adding, it was supposed to be stars, but we're gonna go with snowflakes now because that makes a little more sense. And we might add some actual stars in here, but I'm just putting some little droplets of snow. Some happy little droplets. And it doesn't have to be uniform. I'll do big ones and little teeny tiny ones. And that's the thing that people have to remember about art, is not everything has to be uniform, especially in a landscape theme. You want to keep it authentic. So if you're ever doing landscape themes, and this is why I wanted to do a tutorial for this one, is because I'm not looking at a template right now. I'm just literally making this up as I go along. And we're going to put some snowflakes on the side because once again, I want to give it some depth. But if you're ever doing landscape themes, all you really have to do is go outside and just kind of look around you. You know, not all of the trees are going to look the same. Not all of your snowflakes, obviously, are going to look the same. And that's how people get their landscapes to look authentic. I got some paint on me. You just make it look organic. You know, make it look like what it really is. That's the beauty in it. The beauty in landscape art are the flaws in nature. And flaws are beautiful. They really are. Heck, some of my biggest flaws and mistakes I've made in paintings turn out to be some of my best work. I kid you not. So we're just dabbing. And all I'm doing is just taking a little bit of white and just dabbing just a little teeny tiny bit. My cats are actually being very well behaved right now, so I'm surprised. Okay, now we're going to go in with that same brush, because I like this brush. We're going to add a couple more trees, maybe bushes, maybe a woodland creature, I don't know. We're just going to find out what we're going to do together. I want to put a tree right here, so I'm not going to be watching the camera, I'm going to be watching the paint. So I'm just going to start with a sort of wide tree trunk. And just going to paint up. And again, I'm just dabbing, that's all I'm doing. for that bottom part there. That looks a little weird. I don't like that. And that's the beauty in art, is you don't have to like it. You just have to know how to fix it. And we're not going to make this one as big as the others. You two stop. The cats are being destructive. We're not going to make that one as big. And all I'm doing is just kind of filling in with some tree branches. And as you can see, this one looks even further into the distance. Depth is just all about size, and that's something that it took me a long time to learn, and I still have troubles with it every once in a while. But if you want a painting with depth, okay, we're gonna leave that there. I kind of like that. It's different. I didn't like it at first, but then I looked at it. It sounds funny, but ask any artist out there. Sometimes you look so close at something and you just don't like it for some reason, and you have to take a step back, and then you're like, oh, well, it looks alright. It's all about the big picture, guys. Alright, and that's pretty good. I like that. Now, to make that tree look a little less threatening, because like I said, this is for a kid, we're going to let that dry, and we're going to go and, because I'm going to put some snow on that to make it look a little less threatening. I don't like that. And that's the beauty of artwork, is if you don't like something, you just go back in with whatever color and you fix it. And looky there. It's almost as if it never existed. We have to dry and let it dry and add a second coat. But what I wanted to do was kind of a little root sticking out. Now, I had a really cool thought, and I don't know if I'm going to do it still. But I wanted to do, and Hal actually came up with this idea too, but just because we think alike, doing kind of like a Where's Waldo thing, having a fox in each little thing. I think I might do that. So I'm just going to make that look like a little root sticking out. A happy little root. God, I love Bob Ross. Bob Ross is so cool. Hopefully I get to be a painter like him one day. And that's just it, guys. Like, I am not, I mean, yeah, I've got some talent, don't get me wrong, but I'm not near that caliber. And that's fine. That's the beauty of art, is you don't have to be the best, you don't have to be the brightest, you just have to be you. I think that's why I love art so much, is you literally can be you. There's no rules, there's no regulations. You just get to be free. You get to be free to express yourself and be yourself. And somebody will like it, I promise you. Somebody. Even if that somebody is your own mother. I know that for the longest time, the only fan of my art was my mother. And shout out to my mom, because I love her. And she is just the best. She's always been my #1 fan, my #1 big supporter. And I couldn't thank her enough for that. She knew what I was capable of, probably before I was aware. But she believed in me before anyone else ever did. We're just gonna fix that line up a little bit. And now we're just gonna go back with our, and I'm just making this up as I go along, guys. I really am. I just kind of made the shape of a tree, and I'll go back later for details. And we're gonna go over this in black. Now, one thing that I had trouble with for the longest time, and I think that some artists still struggle with it, is how exactly to paint. Because I used to do my detail work and then put my background in. And you would think, oh, hey, that's dumb. Why would you do that? It's really not. It's just one of those things that you don't really think about. It's easier sometimes to, it seems easier to put your subject in before you put your background in. Because sometimes it's hard to put a subject in there when all you have is a background and you don't really know what you want to put in there. But honestly, guys, the best way to do art, the easiest way for anybody, is to put your background in and then figure out what you're going to do with your foreground. Only because, think about it, if I had put this tree in here and not had any snow, I would have had to go back with the white and make sure that I trace these lines just perfectly and not get into the tree and everything like that. And that's just a lot of extra work. Whereas I went ahead and I laid my background down with my sky over here and my snow over there. And then I start putting my subject matter into it. And it's a lot easier as far as technique and having to go back over it with more paint and everything. I'm going to switch brushes here. Go back to my detail brush. I'm just going to go over this and kind of clean it up a bit, as I like to say. My lines can be very crooked sometimes, but that's not bad when you're doing a tree, but I still like to clean it up just a tad. Again, if anyone wants to comment, go for it. This is my very first video, so don't be shy. Even though I'm a bit nervous myself. Still am. Mainly because I have an idea of what I want to do for this piece. But normally I'm not used to having an audience while I paint. And that can be a little overwhelming, but it's okay. I'm just gonna branch this out just a little bit. Okay. Ouch. Trying to make this a little more authentic looking. I feel like it doesn't look quite like a tree. And like I said, we're going to go back over it with snow. See, now that isn't exactly how I wanted it, and I don't know that I care for it too much, but like I said, we can go back over it in snow. So we're gonna let that dry. We're gonna head back over to this happy little tree. My God, I love Bob Ross. I can't get enough of Bob Ross. I'm sorry. I have a slight obsession with his work. He's just amazing. And I love the happy little tree thing. Like, everyone, that's so iconic. Everyone knows who that is. And if you don't, well, I need you to get your life together. I'm just kidding. Again, for those of you who are watching, even though no one's watching right now, but any of those who just happen to come up in the middle, my page is Breeze Arts and Crafts. You can find me on Facebook. I will be posting this to YouTube as well, and potentially starting a few other social media accounts, kind of to just get my artwork out there and get my name out there. So And I'm hoping to add a few things to my business, such as having my own business phone and things like that. Alright, we're gonna go ahead and leave the foreground alone for a bit. We'll fix this tree over here, don't worry about it. We're gonna go back to the background. Now we're going to do the quote-unquote Bob Ross thing. We're gonna make this happy little tree have some depth. Now what I like to do when dealing with snow on a tree, I like to do snow on the opposite side of the moon. So since the moon is over here, I want to do, as far as on the trunk and the side of the tree, I like to do snow on the opposite side. So we are going to do, and I'm left-handed, so apologies. Got a little fuzzy. Okay. And we're just going to go in here and just tap along the side. Doesn't have to be perfect, it's snow. Snow isn't perfect. And I'm going to go back in with kind of a second coat just to make sure that's well defined and clear. And then we're going to put some on top of some of those branches there. We're going to put one, it's kind of hard to see in this light. Hey, it's my face. We're just going to put some right up here. And maybe over here. And put some down here, why not? And that already has given that tree so much more depth. Like, an incredible amount of depth. It really has. And it makes it look real. It really does. So that's all it takes with doing nature scenes and things like that. Just add a little things that you would find in nature here and there. Now I want to do kind of like a little woodland creature. And I want to do them like right here. I don't know what woodland. I wanted to do a deer. This might not turn out so well. This is typically one of those things that I would have a picture for. And I might have to go back in and fix it later on, which is fine. Because I probably won't be able to finish the piece tonight, unfortunately. Okay. And all we're doing is a silhouette. I'm not gonna get crazy with it. We're gonna broaden that little nose there. And I'm just, for my outline, I'm just dabbing. I don't want to get too crazy with it just because it's really, really hard to go back over black with white, obviously. We're just kind of filling in here. And we're gonna go with some antlers. I've never been hunting, so I'm not really that good at this, but I imagine it's kind of similar to branches. So that's how we're gonna do it. We're not gonna go crazy with it, but I don't like how thick that is. But we'll go, like I said, we'll go back and we will fix it. Got a little too much paint on that. And that's the thing with detail work, is you want to make sure that you get little droplets. And you won't be able to see his antlers too much just because of that tree in the background, but that's fine. not a big deal at all. Actually, kind of blends in with the tree, so that is the goal. And then we're just gonna go back and just fill him in. Oh dear. In the forest. And I'm probably going to go back and put a fox in here, a silhouette of a fox hiding. Because like I said, I did want to do a little like Where's Waldo thing. And that's adorable. I'm sorry. I think that's so cute. Now we're gonna go back. We're gonna fix that foot. That left foot looks great, but the right foot doesn't look so great. We're just gonna go back with some white and kind of thin that out towards the bottom. That looks a little bit better. We gotta fix his body too, because his body doesn't match up. That's fine though. Thanks for the like. Appreciate it, guys. See, I got too much on that one. Okay. We're gonna go in and we're gonna fix this little antler because that's bugging me. There we go. That looks better. That looks better. Okay. And we're gonna go in with black and kind of make his front part of his body and the back part of his body match up a little bit better. Oh shoot. That's okay. Fix it. And that looks pretty cool. And if it were authentic, I would put snow on him too. I like putting snow on everything. We're gonna go over that. Just dab white so it doesn't look terrible. Okay. And there you have a little tiny woodland creature. Now we are going to go back up here and fix all of this. Like I said, I just kind of guess. I really truly do. I guess at this. I don't want to make people think I don't know what I'm doing, but sometimes I don't. What, Nala? Mommy's busy. I know, sweetheart. What? You're so pretty. Oh, no, look up. Mommy can't right now, baby. What? Hi, baby. Alright, Nala. Mommy's gotta work. Nala, you gotta stop, baby. I think I actually might put some snow on this along the lines here, just to give it a little bit of depth and let the deer silhouette kind of stand out. Hopefully. Alright, and we're gonna go back to the wide brush because since this is a bigger subject matter than the background, it's easier to do with the wide brush. And we're just going to tap along the edge. And it's okay to leave some of the trunk itself exposed, because then you tell the difference between trunk and ground. And we're just going to fill it in a little bit more. The beautiful thing about snow is you don't have to be perfect with it. You can kind of just dab it here and there because you want it to be a little fluffy. You want it to have that fluffy look. Thanks, Dad. My dad said PBS painting. Brought to you by... Just kidding. Good times, good times. I left A little bit there. And that adds a little bit of depth to it. I don't know how much time I have left on this video, because I don't want to run over. Now we're just, like I said, just tapping. A lot of this is just tapping along, just doing random stuff. That's all I do, is I just tap a little bit. And with this side here, I just want to add just a little bit of snow. I don't want to add a whole lot. You know, I was super nervous when I started out, but now I'm not that nervous. It's the introduction. That's what always gets me. Because I never know what to say. I don't know. I don't know what to say to people. We're going to go ahead and fix all this right here. I'm going to blot it just a little bit. For the women out there, I'm sure you guys all know what blotting is. Some men might, some men might. Nala, baby, mommy's working. Shh. Mommy's working, baby. And I might pull another Bob Ross and put some bushes in here. Now, this is a technique that I like to call swiping. Yes, I used air quotations. All I'm doing is I'm taking my brush right here and just literally swiping down. Now, depending on where you want a little bit of, oh, how should I put it? Depending on where you want the swipe to get a little bit lighter, depends on where you start. So as you can see, I'm going to start in the middle and then swipe out. These outer edges here get a little bit lighter, giving an indication of less. Because if you look at a bush, most of its, whoops, I just messed up there. Most of its depth and fullness is going to be towards the middle of the bush. Same thing with trees. Most of your thickness is going to be at the base. So leaves on bushes and things like that work similarly. We're gonna go back in and fix that, because I did not mean to do that. So like I said, with this swiping technique, we're just going to start in the middle and kind of flare out just a bit. I'm gonna dab a little bit of white there too. And we're gonna put a couple of bushes here. Maybe a small one in the background. Nala, can you please get down? Okay. Dang it. Alright. Now that it's a little more focused, we're going to just put a bush over here. I'm gonna just start in the middle and then swipe out. And you don't want to get a whole lot of paint for this, because you really want to give that look that the bush gets thinner. At the end. So I've got kind of my base right here, and then we're just gonna again swipe out with the leaves, giving that indication of less fullness. Swipe or no swiping. And then we're probably gonna do one like right here, just a little teeny tiny one. I can't stress this enough, guys, but a little paint goes a long way. A little bit goes a long way in art. You don't have to get crazy with it. Now we want to keep this one small because it's in our background. See, it looks further away. And we might add a little one right here. Just a teeny tiny one to help with that depth perception. See, it's already giving more depth to the entire piece. Clean up some things here. And I might go back and do other things with this piece, but that's pretty much all there is to it. I didn't really show you much difference in what I have already done, so anything that I already started on, you guys didn't miss much. You really didn't. Pretty much showed you all there is to it. Alright, let's take a look. Alright. That looks awesome. I might go back in and fix that tree a little bit, but I think it looks pretty cool. You have some depth, some detail work. And like I said, I might go back and add like a little fox, kind of like a Where's Waldo thing. But other than that, that's all there is to it. I probably will be posting more videos on the rest of the landscapes that I do for this piece. I may or may not. Or I may start doing a video for one letter in each of the names that I have. Just to give you a quick glance, I have a lot of names up there, a lot of orders. So if you're looking for me to do something for you and you have a deadline to meet, please get that into me as soon as possible. It's very, very important that you get that into me as soon as you can, because as most of my clients know, this is something that takes a bit of time. It's a very time-based service that I do, but it's something that I enjoy, it's something that I love, and something I've had a passion for years. If you guys have any questions, please don't hesitate to message me or get a hold of me in any way. You can get a hold of me on my Facebook page, or like I said, you can go to my business page, Breeze Arts and Crafts. This video, again, for those of you just tuning in, will be on Facebook and YouTube, amongst other things. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I appreciate all the love, all the support, and hopefully there will be more videos to come to kind of show you guys what I do and how I do it. Alright, thanks guys for tuning in. I do appreciate it. Remember, go to my page, Breeze Arts and Crafts. Like, share, comment, review if you are a client and you haven't done so yet. Thank you guys for all the love and support. I appreciate it. God bless.